Hi, Team Yunete and Onu. Ms. Pizzo here. I'm just going to give you a brief tutorial on how to go through your introduction paragraph for your Walk to Moons theme essay. The very first thing you need to do when you think about your theme essay is you need to decide who and what you're talking about. The what would be the theme. You have two choices. Don't judge a person until you've walked a mile in their shoes, or everyone has their own agenda. At this point, you should have chosen one of those two. The whole essay is on sale, so you need to make sure you have sale in there. And then you have a couple choices, okay? You're talking about the shared experience with Phoebe, okay? And then you have to decide, are you going to make the sales attitude changing toward Mrs. Cadaver or her mother, okay? And that same thing goes for both themes. You're going to look at how the theme applies to Sal, her shared experience with Phoebe, and her attitude toward Mrs. Cadaver or her mother. Not both. There's a keyword or there, okay? The way you're going to organize your introduction is in three separate parts, although it's going to be one paragraph. And I've highlighted in three colors here so you can see the three different parts, okay? The first thing you're going to want to do in your introduction is provide background information on what has been happening in the book, okay? You need to make sure you include the title, Walk to Moons. You need to include the author's name, Sharon Creech, okay? And after that, this is where you need to tell us a little bit about the context. Think of it like your flyover in the IOC. You have to provide just enough context where we understand what's going on. It's absolutely imperative, which means important, that you talk about Sal, all right? Give us a little bit about her. You know, she's a young girl. She moved from Kentucky to Ohio because her, her mother disappeared and her father needed to move. You should talk maybe about how they're going on a road trip and how she feels about all of this, okay? The next thing you need to make sure you include in your background knowledge of your intro is a little bit about Phoebe. Who is she? What is her role in the story? Okay, and that should be about 2 sentences. The last thing you need to make sure to include is either Mrs. Cadaver or her mother. Okay, the reason you need to provide background knowledge on them is if they're mentioned in your thesis, you should probably talk about who they are and what they're doing, okay? You don't need to reveal everything, but we need to have the context so we know why they're even in your thesis, okay? And again, you're not talking about both necessarily. You're going to talk about Mrs. Cadaver if that was the choice in terms of the attitude, how Sal's attitude changed toward her, or you're going to say her mother, which is if you choose that one for your thesis, okay? So it really is depending on which thesis statement you choose. After you've provided background knowledge, you're going to move into your theme, explanation of the theme, okay? And this is where you're going to be putting the theme in your own words, okay? And then you're going to apply this to anywhere in the world, okay? It could be, how does it apply in Hilton? How does it apply anywhere, okay? You're not talking about the book at this point, though, all right? You should not be mentioning Sal. You should not be mentioning Phoebe in the blue part of your introduction. Okay, you're talking about what it means in your own words. Everyone has their own agenda, or don't judge a person until you've walked a mile in their shoes. In your own words, and then you need to explain how that could apply or connect to anybody not in the book, okay? Last but not least, you're going to want to write your thesis. Now, I believe your English teachers are providing you with a thesis that they want you to use. If they don't, or you missed that piece, you can look at the example that's highlighted in pink on this example, and you can use it. Just insert the theme you chose and the characters that you're using, okay? In the end, this is what your final product should look like. It should be about 200 words, give or take. I mean, if you're around 160, that should be pretty good. If you're underneath that, though, you're probably not providing enough background knowledge, okay? Use this example to help you at any time. Pull it up, look at it, and see how they structured theirs and follow the same format. If you have any questions, you can always ask me, or you can ask your English teacher. Happy writing, everybody. Good luck.